friends, we are continuing our big journey across Russia's #1 tourist attraction, the Golden Ring. Right now, we're at the halfway point. In the previous episode, we drove from Sergeyev Posad to Pereslavl-Zalesky, then up to Rostov-Veliki, and finally to the big city of Yaroslavl. Our next stop is Kostroma. Let's do it! So friends, here we are in the absolute center of Kostroma, where just a few years ago I came to do some big business that ultimately failed. So let's hope today goes better. But anyways, the most famous building in the region is this one behind me, which is actually a fire station. Yeah, can you believe it? You see the big doors there for fire trucks, or I guess in the old days for fire horses and wagons, but whatever. And next to it, they sell some amazing local cheeses, which we're going to go pick up. And one thing I gotta tell you, so far so good. I haven't seen one monastery yet. Life in ancient Russia flowed along its big rivers, so it is no surprise that so many cities which still stand today are on the great rivers, like Kostroma, which is on the Volga. Wikipedia says the word Kostroma came from the Russian word kostер, meaning bonfire. How one can light this bonfire so they can respawn here remains a mystery, but perhaps the mystery is connected to the city's most famous piece of architecture, its massive firehouse. This is truly unique, as most Russian cities have an old fort or some Soviet government building at their heart, but in Kostroma, the fire department is king. Anyways, this town gets mentioned a lot in Moscow, especially in connection to the cheeses that it produces, as the factory-pressed cheeses of the capital city leave a lot to be desired. Not far from the central square and some of the old trade row buildings, there is a cheese stock market, which offers all sorts of different cheeses made in various parts of the region. They say that if you work at McDonald's, you will want to commit suicide due to the smell. This place was the opposite. If the gates of heaven do have a smell, it must be 40 types of Kostroma cheeses, all wafting through the air. Magnificent! The next stop on our big tour was going to be Ivanovo, but again the whole point of this trip was to show you a magical winter adventure in Russia. But sadly, over halfway done with the Golden Ring, and all we saw was slush and slop. We needed a solution, and fast. I don't know who thought of diverting us to the tiny river town of Plos, but that decision saved the video. We finally did it. It only took days and going hundreds of kilometers and actually going off the route of the Golden Ring to find the real Russian winter in the tiny town of Plos, which is between Kostroma and Ivanovo. Yeah, it's not part of the Golden Ring, but this is it. Look at this Russian village, the multicolored houses all covered in snow, no slush anywhere. Oh, it feels good. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So here it is. And you know what? They're actually building a new house right over there. Isn't that cool? Population growing. Plos was a strange place. First off, its name in Russian sounds like it was either derived from the word for wild dancing or splashing/spitting. Secondly, the town of less than 2,000 people was extremely well kept, with new buildings being built, in the old style, in the middle of winter. The rumor mill has it that certain well-to-do people have private vacation residences here, and judging by how nice things are, I can believe it. But the best thing that Plos gave us was snow. Tons of perfect Russian snow and images to show you. Thank you, Plos. You saved our video. Well, now that we've finally found and filmed a real Russian winter, let's get back on the road to Ivanovo. All right, so our little excursion to Plos sort of screwed up our plans for Ivanovo. It's already getting dark, and basically there's nothing to film. To be honest, Ivanovo really is different than all the other places on the Golden Ring. It's a very Soviet, not very medieval Russian. So yeah, it kind of doesn't really fit, and we can't really show you any of it anyways, so why am I bothering to talk? Oh yeah, it's known as the City of Potential Brides. Check it out on Tinder. Anyways, I'm out of here. Let's keep going. Come on. The distinct lack of churches on every street corner in Ivanova is not present in Suzdal, where it almost feels like there are more cathedrals than permanent residents. Guys, normally I feel a little bit lost when we're traveling around. Well, not too lost, I can find my way around. But in Suzdal, I feel like I'm at home. I know where everything is because this is the 7th time I've been on this hill and the 7th time I've been in Suzdal. It is a great place to visit and I do not regret coming here so many times. Because Suzdal is basically like a microcosm of Russia. You've got the classic river, by the banks, the little village. You can see 9 churches from up here. This is definitely a little Russia and you can get it all in one spot, which is pretty awesome. It's also, I would say, the #1 family vacation spot in the country. Plenty to do, and even if there's nothing to do, your kids can roll around in the snow and have a good time. But anyways, we filmed a whole big video about what you can do in Suzdal on vacation in winter, so we're gonna put a link in the description, and because of that, we're gonna keep moving. Let's not waste time. We've already filmed everything, right? And our final stop is just ahead, Vladimir, the city, not the president. And here we are in Vladimir. Kind of. As we arrived, Misha parked the car, pointed to an empty field, and said, we're going to walk 2 kilometers that way. Okay, and so we did. And here we are by a church that's a very hard to translate its name. Basically, it'll be written right here. It's the Church on the Nil River, one of the prettiest in Russia. But to be honest, it's not the church that's the real spiritual experience here, at least for me. It's this massive, open area that we're in. Fields covered with snow to the horizon. That's cool. That's the massiveness of Russia I talk about in these videos. And it's one of the reasons I choose to live here. So I'm feeling pretty good. Not feeling so good about the walk back through the slushy snow for another 2 kilometers. But hey, it was worth it. Vladimir is halfway between Moscow and Nizhny Novgorod, meaning that a lot of people drive through it every day. And I have driven through here more times than I can count. So it's nice to finally stop off and see the place. Once you get away from the blaring cars on the road, you get to enjoy the charm of one of Russia's oldest cities that still has plenty of historic buildings in it and big views to see. I really hope that the city of Vladimir builds a better identity for itself, as it gets so many people going through it, but not many people stopping to stay. It is one of the few places on the Golden Ring where you can really feel an industrial presence, which is probably a put-off for some tourists. One thing Vladimir needs to push in terms of its identity is its glorious mead that it makes in big volumes. It's a great, unusual, slightly alcoholic present that would be perfect for you to take back with you to your home country. They do make non-alcoholic mead, but come on, this is Russia, baby. It's party time. Leave a little. Well, friends, our big adventure around Russia's Golden Ring in winter is over. Right here's our last stop, the gates of Vladimir that I think are from like the 12th century or something. But one thing I know for sure is they're exactly 200 kilometers from where I live in Moscow. Well, what do? We went to 8 cities along the Golden Ring, plus Plyos, which is not really on it, but probably should be, over 5 days, and we drove 800 kilometers. Whew. All for you. So hopefully you've enjoyed these videos, but right now I got to get back to Moscow because there's a lot of video to edit and a lot of footage to look through. Whew. Adobe Premiere awaits. Yeah. Anyways, here we have the Vokhma baby cheese, and here we have the piece de resistance, the Soviet recipe cheese. It smells like an old refrigerator. We have the winner. This Vokhma baby, Vokhma Malish, this is the cheese you want.